In this video, we're just going to show how to get Hello World to print to the screen, and that's about it. Now, be careful. I am doing this in Eclipse, but I'm also going to do it on a Linux version just because you don't need to have an IDE. Just an IDE makes it a heck of a lot easier on you. So maybe later on in the video, watch for something like a black screen, because that means that I'm in Linux and doing it the hard way. So look for that later on in the video. So do cover both sides. But let's work with Eclipse here first. I'm going to go File, New, Java Project. Really, there's nothing spectacular here. I'm going to name it now. I go over a little bit more of this later on. Hello World. Hit Finish. And that's it. And then after that, there's many ways of doing this. File, New, and this should look very similar to Visual Studio again. And then I can do Class. See that symbol with the C plus there? You can do the exact same thing here. And here's where things get interesting, is that, and I'll talk about the naming here, Hello World, and then I'm going to automatically have my main put in there for me. Everything else, just leave alone. Again, there's going to be some things that we will talk about later, but I'm going to hit Finish, and voila. So, compared to C++, this is just going to be our system dot print. Oh my gosh. Hello World. Okay. I notice it's trying to help me, but I don't need it. How do I run it? Very simple. Go to Run, Run As, Java Application, hit OK. And then there's the screen. That's not a black screen, by the way. It's a white screen down the bottom. It says console. So be careful. If you run something and you don't have console selected, you may not see it. But it's there and running behind the scenes. Now that's it for using Eclipse. Let me show you what it looks like when you have to use an old Linux system. So since I'm doing everything from scratch, you're going to see I'm going to create a file named helloworld.java. Now the important part is that, and again I'm going to go over this a little bit later here. I'm going to copy and paste and cheat here. I need to make sure that the name of the class does fit exactly the name of the file, at least the up to the dot part. So these two things need to match. So after I'm done with that, I'm going to get out and save it. And that's what we have so far. So the next part is compiling our Java project, or a Java file, I really should say. After I do the Javic, that's the Java, and then compile, I'm doing ls, and notice that there is some type of repercussion from that file that we just compiled, and that's the .class. So I wanted to show you two errors that come up constantly with new programmers in Java, and that's trying to run, which is Java, that part's correct, but then they pick the wrong files. It is neither one of those, and you're saying, well, that's the only two there. It's funny because if I do Java and then Hello World, it go ahead and runs the program. So be very careful about that. Now again, Eclipse does all that for you, but at least wanted to show you what it looks like if you had to use it using a Linux machine that you had to tunnel into. So that's part of this video, and then we'll get into a little bit more about actually programming and what the differences are in C++ as well.